Jujutsu Kaisen's strongest brawl in a Raid Shadow Legends style arena match. By taking the strongest fighters, sorcerers, and cursed spirits the series has to offer, I'll divide them up into two teams in a Raid Shadow Legends style arena match with Gojo and Sukuna as the leaders, making sure they're both starting off with some incredible power just like the teams in Raid. Both teams will be led by two of the strongest sorcerers of all time. Just like in Raid Shadow Legends, the sponsor of the video, each team will be made up of 4 champions, meaning we'll be taking 8 of the strongest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. In this video, I'll be going over the power, speed, and chemistry of both teams to see who's walking away as the strongest team of champions in Jujutsu Kaisen. First, let's go over both teams. Like I've mentioned earlier, both of them have their own leaders. One team will be led by Satoru Gojo, the strongest sorcerer in the modern era, along with Ryomen Sukuna, the king of all curses. Like I mentioned earlier, both teams will be fighting in a Raid Shadow Legends style arena deathmatch. The arena game mode is where players can fight against each other in real time. Classic Arena puts up 2 teams of champions against each other in a traditional 4v4 team fight. Gojo and Sukuna will lead the group split up between the rest of the strongest sorcerers around, meaning there's another 6 sorcerers to divide up between each group for this arena deathmatch. In Raid Shadow Legends, winning medals in Classic Arena lets you upgrade your Great Hall in Raid, so playing Arena is an essential part to any high tier player. While players can start playing the campaign to level up your champions, they can also move on to dungeons. This is where you'll find rare artifacts and combine them together with your champions and other resources in the game. Stage 3 of Raid is finally where you'll enter the arena. Like I mentioned earlier, Arena is where you can improve your Great Hall, which is crucial to strengthening your champion. On level 13, you can join clans to eliminate bosses together as a team, win CVC wars, and socialize between shopping for unique items. Just like rewards you can get in other games I love, bosses are the best way to gain rewards for free every single day, like artifacts, barrels, shards, and unlike those other games, in Raid, you get books and even gems. Getting shards is essential for summoning strong heroes, so making sure to complete daily or even monthly quests are very crucial. Stage 6 of the game cycle is where you'll finally take part in faction wars at level 30 and even the Doom Tower at level 40. Engaging in all these events can get you even more resources like gems and other unique items to truly take your champions to the next level. For a limited time, players can get access to 4 amazing champions for free. You'll get 3 champions and a rare hero for absolutely free. First, it is a super strong Epic Void champion Oboro, which you can get by using the promo code Getoboro. Then an Epic Hero Lightsworn would be a great addition to your team, as his kits allow him to keep your team alive with an increased defense buff. Epic Hero Juliana, a boss killer from the Sacred Order, who you can receive after reaching level 15, and last but not least, a rare champion Warmaiden, which you can get by using the promo code Warmaiden for 24 hours after using the first promo code. But it's only for a limited time, so be fast. Take advantage of this crazy head start. Click my link and scan the QR code to join my clan, and using the promo code ILOVERAID in the description will grant both new and existing players access to a new champion preserver with other amazing bonuses. Within Cursed City, the most exciting update to ever happen since the Doom Tower, Cursed City now brings 100 stages to complete, including stages where you'll need to take down 2 raid bosses simultaneously. Fight your way through Cursed City and obtain your own mythical champion. Download Raid as soon as possible because you don't want to miss out on rewards this holiday season. Since love is in the air, Raids went ahead and blessed us all with a ton of content to cozy up, including the ongoing Lunar Festival. It's a fresh update with powerful characters and some awesome champions. Make sure to check out the best king and queen couple in gaming, and there's so much to love this February in Raid, so make sure to download the game now. Stepping into the arena, we have our 2 teams. Taking into account the overall power and arsenal of each fighter, these teams have been drafted as fairly as possible. As for Sukuna, he's going to be leading a team made up of some of the strongest sorcerers in history. Yorozu is the first player to enter Team Sukuna. Her curse technique creation is definitely trouble. Just like Grandier from Raid, Yorozu's armor is going to let her act as almost like a tank for the team. She's going to be able to take a massive amount of damage, especially from possibly large AoE attacks from Team Gojo. Yurame's ice, just like Dark Aliens, is going to be extremely essential for dealing with far range combat. Frostcom is an easy way for Yurame to cover large grounds, especially at maximum output. Kashimo Hajime's lightning, just like the lightning cage blessing in Raid, is going to make it extremely difficult to walk away from without a shock. With his curse technique Mythical Beast Amber, along with his never miss lightning strike, in the wrong situation, it could be deadly for nearly anybody on Team Gojo if he can pull it off. Last of course is the leader of the team Sukuna. With his slashes and domain expansion, there's certainly a reason why he's the king of curses. Just like Hullbreeder's cleaving axe, Sukuna's cleave will adjust to the enemy's cursed energy, meaning assuming he makes physical contact with nearly anybody on Team Gojo, they're as sure as dead. Between Kashimo, Yorozu, Yurame, and of course Sukuna, it's by far one of the most stacked teams in Jujutsu Kaisen, with some of the highest power that we've ever seen. Moving on to Team Gojo, the first player drafted is the second to Satoru Gojo himself, and that's Yuta Okkotsu. Having Rika present and boundless cursed energy also means that along with Okkotsu, there's another ally who's going to be extremely formidable. Just like Skartosis' rebirth, Yuta's getting his turn meter filled right back up with Rika's cursed energy, meaning if he ever does run out of CE, Rika will make sure that he's fully restored. While Rika can only be present for about 5 minutes at a time, those 5 minutes are definitely going to be a problem for most people on Team Sukuna to endure. Along with Yuta is Maki Zenin. Her insane physical strength along with her sword means that she can cut the soul directly. With just one slice, it could mean landing some of the craziest damage on anybody including Sukuna himself if he's struck by the blade. Next up is Kinji Ikari, and while he's in base he's not as formidable, using his domain expansion, even landing just one jackpot would mean he's going to be unkillable for about 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Jackpot is like if Ikari received a continuous healing buff in raid constantly. He's going to be completely unable to be eliminated due to his reverse curse technique constantly running as one of the jackpot special effects. Lastly, of course, is our team captain Satoru Gojo. Having both the Limitless and Six Eyes, he's by far the most formidable sorcerer on the team. His domain expansion and Limitless curse technique are both parts of his arsenal no sorcerer on Team Sukuna can compete with, except Sukuna himself as the only exception. When placing both of these teams in the arena, here's how I think it's going to play out. Considering Gojo and Sukuna are far stronger than anybody on their own teams, they'll likely be gunning for each other rather than the rest of their teams. Considering that we've already seen the fight already, it's likely to end in the same conclusion, although I doubt Sukuna will walk away unscathed. Just like he is currently in the story, it's likely going to take a minute for him to recover from his rematch with Satoru Gojo, which can serve as an opening for the rest of Team Gojo if they're not preoccupied. Also, considering their chemistry, Yuta and Maki will likely stick together, but I can see Hikari just like Gojo heading on his own. Compared to Team Sukuna, Maki and Yuta are the only two sorcerers I can see working together during the entire brawl. I don't really see Yorozu, Kashimo, or Yurame working together at all. Hikari will most likely head after Yurame or Kashimo, considering he's already gone up against Kashimo before and he's fighting Yurame currently in the story. I see a rematch with Kashimo as the most likely option, considering Hikari's philosophy when it comes to wanting to chase a better fever. What better way really is there aside from challenging someone who's already put you on the verge of death multiple times in another battle in the past? I'm not saying Yurame couldn't potentially do the same, but based on what we've seen, we'll just have to wait and see how Yurame's matchup with Hikari will continue. Depending on when Kashimo decides to use his curse technique, it could leave Hikari losing the battle. Considering how hellbent Kashimo was in allowing Hikari another chance at jackpot, he'd probably try his best to avoid the gambler collecting more of his winnings. Considering he's already reached his goal to fight Sukuna, I don't see Kashimo still reserving his curse technique. Along with what I mentioned earlier about trying to avoid another jackpot for Hikari at all costs, Kashimo will likely activate his curse technique, which means it's then over for Hikari. Yuta and Maki will have to try their best to survive against Yurame and Yorozu, but this could be really bad depending on who's being focused on. Comparing Maki and Yorozu's performance against Sukuna back when he first incarnated in Megami's body, Yorozu is clearly the stronger of the two. If Maki takes on Yorozu, she's cooked. Out of Yurame and Yuta, it can really go either way, but the reason why I really don't think any of it matters at all is because once Sukuna makes his way back, Gojo's team is as good as dead. If you still haven't downloaded Raid Shadow Legends, make sure to click my link in the description or scan the QR code right here to get 2 epic heroes. Hit the link and join my clan, and once you're crushing enemies, we'll be crushing enemies together.